All right, we're just going to jump right into this. And today we're just going to talk about the bans that have hit the Commander format and what they're doing to Magic and kind of the effect that they've had on everything as a whole. I'm sure that everyone has already seen 4 or 5 videos from other content creators that are bigger and probably smarter and probably know a lot more about this topic than what I know. That being said, I am a content creator within the Magic community, and I do want to let you know that these opinions are my own. I run this podcast with 2 of my other really good buddies. I don't speak for them. We're not necessarily unified on this front, and to be honest, I don't know their full thoughts and opinions on the bans and this situation themselves. That being said, let's jump right into this. So we're just going to touch on 3 things really quick. Number 1, should the cards have been banned? I think they should not have all been banned. Nadu is a terrible card. I think even Wizards has come out and said that card was a mistake from the design phase all the way on. Regarding the ones that we really care about, right? The meat of this conversation are Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt. And should they have been banned? I find it ridiculous that the rules committee came out and said we will not ban Sol Ring because that would fundamentally change the entire identity of the format, when Jeweled Lotus is specifically made for Commander, and when Mana Crypt, apparently, from what I have seen from other content creators, was made in response to the Commander format, and that it was literally given away for free when the format dropped. It feels like saying that Sol Ring is like the heart and soul of Commander, but the Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus, 2 cards that were made specifically, seemingly, for this format, are not part of that like heart and soul of the format, is wild to me. That's crazy to me. It just, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like that is a solid justification. The bigger side of should these cards have been banned that everyone's been talking about is the Rule 0 conversation, right? Having that conversation before the game about what everyone is comfortable playing and playing against. Now, I know the rules committee came out and said that they wanted to do this ban in an effort to take some pressure off of that Rule 0 conversation. However, I think that's stupid. I do not think that it is anyone's job to come out and overcompensate for people's lack of ability to have this conversation before games. Is it an uncomfortable conversation? It can be. Is it difficult to have sometimes? It can be difficult. Does it always result in a better experience? 100% of the time. And the more that Rule 0 conversation is pushed, and the more people get used to having the conversation of this is what I want to play, this is what I don't want to play against, then the better it's going to be. I have been a dungeon master for almost 10 years, and I have seen a lot of Rule 0 conversations in the D&D world, and there is a massive amount of crossover between D&D players and Magic players. And I can tell you that Rule 0 conversation, just as equally uncomfortable in Dungeons and Dragons as it is in Magic the Gathering. But at the end of the day, no one wants to play in a D&D campaign that has no focus, where every player wants to do a different thing and where every person at the table wants a different experience. The Rule 0 conversation will not change because of this ban. Banning these cards is not going to make that conversation easier. They're still going to have it. 1, getting rid of these cards is just going to shift the complainers, the people that don't want to play against certain cards. It's just going to shift the conversation from, oh, I don't want to play against Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus, to now there's going to be another thing that fills that spot. Oh, I don't want to play against this or this. Everyone is always going to have things they don't want to play against. And for those that enjoy playing those cards and playing in the stronger, faster decks, it's just going to shift it to something else as well for them. Oh, I don't have a Mana Crypt or a Jeweled Lotus anymore. Well, now I'm going to just shift my decks to go to function this way so that I can still play high powered and enjoy the game I want to play. Commander is a casual format that does not need a rules committee to govern it. In the NFL, you have referees because it's a competition, because there's something on the line. When I played backyard football growing up, we did not have a referee because it was backyard football. Commander, EDH, is backyard football. CEDH is much more akin to the NFL, and I do think that they should have a rules committee to govern them, which brings me to my next topic, number 2, of what is the solution for this issue, and how do we prevent this from happening again in the future? The most obvious glaring solution to this is that you need to split EDH and CEDH. They should be recognized as 2 different formats. And EDH, casual commander that is played all over the place, casual Friday commander games at the local game store or playing around the kitchen table with your friends, doesn't need a governing body to choose what can and cannot be played. It's a casual format. Push the rule 0 conversation. I know that they said we want to take pressure off of this. Who cares? It's casual. Build what you want to build. Play the game the way you want to play it. And find a group that wants to do the same thing. It's really, really not that hard. And I understand that there are people that struggle with anxiety and there are difficulties sometimes in finding a group. But Josh Lee Kwai kind of said it perfectly when he said that he has his different types of decks. He has high power decks that he enjoys playing with Post Malone and with Cassius and with Kyle Hill. And then he has his normal decks, most of his decks that he plays with his normal, like, everyday play group. And then he has one CEDH deck that he plays from time to time. There is nothing wrong with that. And I think that diversifying your decks like that makes it a more fun game because you can experience different things. I love Commander. And after I started playing on the Tolarian Community College Discord, I realized my decks were really weak. And I started playing with higher powered decks and I enjoyed it even more. I don't think that we need to have a governing body for EDH. So, step 1, split EDH and CEDH. Ban cards, restrict cards, do whatever you want for a competitive format. Casual format doesn't need it. The other thing that I think they need to do, because I don't foresee them just completely getting rid of a rules committee for EDH, is they need to reorganize the rules committee under new direction and in a new light. I do think that it would be beneficial for them if some of the members of the rules committee are released of their capacity and that they kind of give the rules committee a new face, a facelift, if you will. I don't say that thinking that there are members of the committee that do not deserve to be on that committee. Every single person on that committee that I know of, the people that I know are on the committee, they have a crazy knowledge of the game. They seem like great people. I watch the Spike feeders. I watch Commander at home. Those are the only 2 that I really know is Olivia Gobert Hicks and Jim from the Spike feeders. I know that they're on the rules committee and I really like them both. I have no issues with them. But I think that in order to maintain peace in the community and to maintain the image of the rules committee, I don't see a way where they can move forward without letting some people go and bringing in some new people and shaking it up. I think that it has to get a new direction. So that being said, last thing I want to touch on regarding the rules committee is that I do not, and we on this channel do not condone any sort of violence or doxing or any of that negativity. We have always said from the beginning that one of our main goals is to build up the community of Magic and build the community of players and to bring everyone together to provide a better space for everyone to enjoy this game. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game that we all enjoy. It's a game that we all love. And if you're here watching this video, it's a game that you have at least a modicum of passion about. I do too. That being said, the members of this rules committee and the members of the CAG are members of our community. They do not deserve to be hated on. They don't deserve to be doxxed. They don't deserve to receive death threats. I think all of that is extremely shameful, that people have stooped to that level, that they are that upset over these banned cards. The relationship between the players of the game and content creators, Magic content creators, and the rules committee and the CAG is so parasocial. It is crazy. People are acting like this is their mom and dad or their brother and sister that have betrayed them on a deep level. That's not what this is. These are human beings that are acting in the role that they have been assigned, in the role that they have taken on, possibly volunteered for, in order to make the community that they care about better. And the fact that we're pursuing these people with such negative feelings and with such anger and frustration that they're having to lock down their social media accounts, they're receiving death threats, they're people doxing their information, is extremely unacceptable as a community. I think that Magic is in a dangerous place right now. The Commander community is in a volatile and dangerous place right now that's going to take time to stabilize. That being said, all of us as a community playing this game can only move forward together. The bans have happened, and it is what it is. Move forward together, push forward, and let's find a way to make it better. In the world of Magic, Commander is still very young compared to the game overall as a whole. It's changing. It's going to continue to change, and there's going to be things that happen that people are not going to love. But that's where the community has to step in together and realize that there's going to be growing pains along the way. And at the end of the day, a year from now, 2 years from now, hopefully our game is better because we've gone through those growing pains together. So let's move past these bans. Let's move forward. Hopefully there'll be some really good direction and really good changes that will come out of the events of this past week, and we can enjoy it. So yeah, that's really all I've got, guys. Let's go play some Magic. Peace.